Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Series of Board Gaming's coverage on the 2024 ring final of Wingspan. We are going to see which of these contestants takes on the ring. I'm Chris George, WSBG's Director of Production, but you don't care about me. I am joined here by our esteemed co-host, 2023's ring champion, Mike. I'll let you introduce yourself, Mike. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Mike Topshevsky. I won the 2023 Wingspan ring last year. Had an absolutely amazing time doing it, and I'm really looking forward to commentating on this year's victory that I have not watched yet. So I'm sure it's going to be exhilarating to find out who won.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. I played a game of Wingspan last night in preparation. I was trying to see if my score beats the four around the table. I don't know if it will, but I guess we'll find out.
I'm actually scared to play Wingspan now because every time I play, when I lose, the first words out of their mouth are "Give me the ring." So, like, I mean, I'm kind of retiring as on top, you know.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You go out on top, and you'll win a different heat in 2025.
That's definitely the hope. Leave them wanting more.
Leave them wanting more. And speaking of 2025, if you haven't gotten your tickets for WSBG in 2025, there is still time to use the early bird code, which is coincidentally early bird. You can save up to $100 off of your ticket. So go check that out at WSBGvegas.com. If you're interested in participating in the event, it's a pretty fun event. Mike, what would you say to people who are on the fence?
Come. It is so much fun. I went myself my first year. I had a couple of friends come last year. I got even more people coming this current, like, for 2025. It's amazing. Even if you don't want to compete, come. Open gaming, it's fantastic.
Cool. I'm glad. I didn't even pay him to say that. No. There's just a beautiful ring that helps.
Yes, which I didn't even have on. It's downstairs, but that's okay.
But even still, I feel like at one point you were saying that Wingspan was on the last day of 2023. Was that it? That you had been? What was your performance in all the other games, and did that impact your enjoyment?
So I've gone 2 years in a row. I've gone 2 years. I've played 8 games. I've been a first round exit in 7 of them, and won a ring in 1. So a little bit of luck. Knowing the game obviously helps, but I mean, a little bit of luck can take you all the way to a ring.
Yeah.
I was on the last game of my first year, and I was like, I don't love the other games, but I like Wingspan, and I just kept playing, and then it just kept going. So it works out well.
Anybody can win. Anybody can win. It's that you just need to win 3 or 4 games, right? Depends upon the tournament structure, but we'll see who wins this game. We should turn it over to the table and meet our players. What do you think about that, Mike?
I love it. I can't wait.
In order from one.
All right, so we are coming into the table right now as they're determining the end of round goals. It looks like eggs and bowl nests are coming up with a loud shake. Eggs and bowl nests are coming up in the first round. We've got eggs and water for round 2. With another shake, we have the third flip.
Platform bird with eggs.
Platform birds with eggs. Looks like the little platform for those birds.
Everyone's calling everything different all day. There you go.
And then birds in forests to finish us out. So those are the end of round goals that the players will be competing over. And now they're going to be doing their sort of initial draft. And while they do, I feel we should introduce our players. Down in the bottom right, I believe in seat 1 is our last year's champion, overall champion. Angela won the entire thing, won $25,000 last year, and has made it to the final table of Wingspan. Angela won Castles of Burgundy last year. Angela was not at your final table, Mike, and that was Angela's first time.
Yeah, she was playing Gaia Project last year at the semifinals on her way to a championship.
Yeah. And then also, coincidentally, sitting in seat 2, who's shuffling the cards right now, is Shaw Stranahan, who was at the final table of Castles of Burgundy with Angela. There's a return grudge match happening here between Angela and Shaw, and then up top in the top left we have Henry Trin, and who I don't know if Henry's been in the final table before. He seems familiar to me though. I think he has been in the final table.
He did, I think, in Cascadia. I know he is very, very good at Cascadia. I've had the privilege of playing out in open gaming with him a couple of times. Super nice guy, has all the tiles memorized. Shocking no one for sure. But yeah, he's a very good gamer.
Yeah, I remember Henry from I remember Henry's face and shining personality, and then in seat 4 we have David Hobson also vying to take on the crown. But it's interesting. None of these people have made it to the final table of Wingspan in particular. This is all of their first appearance at the Wingspan final table, and so that means it's really anybody's game.
Right, and then same for the bonus cards too.
Yeah, I really like that about Wingspan. There's enough randomness in it with the cards that you don't have. That it is very, very hard to repeat as Wingspan champion.
Right.
I know a couple of games have had some repeat winners, but Wingspan, I don't think anybody I'm almost positive nobody at my final table in 23 made a final table in 22. None of these guys made a final table, and I just love how. I mean, it goes back to the fact that anybody can win.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because it really comes down to some with your starting hands, some with the luck of the draw, and then also how you use the tools at your disposal as well. You can really go on a run. Your final performance at Wingspan was very impressive. I remember your sizable bird contingent. Like, you had a lot of bird points in that game, and I feel like you had a lot of bonus card points too, if that's correct.
I did. I got pretty lucky with a bonus card draw early, and I really played hard for it. I had Omnivore, the one that gets 2 points for every wild food, and I was pulling those cards every time they pulled up. Even if the card itself wasn't great, I'm like, it's at least 2 more points.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had 50 some points in birds, which is kind of crazy. When the winning score I think was like 92.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a lot else going on, but I had a ton of that. Ooh, is that a raven off the bat?
It looks like it could be, or the crow.
Oh yeah. It's got to be a crow. It's got to be the one that's outlawed or postponed until round 2, because it's 2 foods there.
Yeah.
Or 2 wilds. Yeah. That's a really nice opening card for whoever player 1 is to grab right off the bat.
Oh, one more thing. Could we keep the birds oriented so that they are facing up for the camera in this direction? Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Thanks to the judge, our esteemed judge, making sure that the cards are well oriented for our viewers' position.
Yeah, that's the common raven. That's a fantastic card. It's one of those 4 power cards that really can skew a game.
Yeah. It's pretty huge, and gives, I believe Angela is probably in seat 1, and we'll see if that gives Angela a good head start or not. In terms of like, obviously if there's a strong card out there like a raven, or there are some that have been outlawed for if they appear in your starting hand, like what generally would you want to play first? Into which habitat rather would you want to play first, especially with the base Wingspan board? Do you have a preference, Mike?
Base Wingspan, I think it's really important to get 2 birds into, is to get some kind of food engine. And that's either 2 birds into the forest, or a bird into the forest that also lets you grab a food from the supply, like one of the ones that lets you grab like a wheat or a berry out of either the bird feeder or from the supply. The ability to pull 2 food in one action is so important early to really be able to get stuff going.
Yeah, I remember just the game that I played last night. I played with a different build that I had never really experimented with. I had one of the moving cards that in my first hand that just bounces around, and so I was like, okay, I'll bounce that down to. I'll get eggs first, bounce it down to cards, get the 2-card draw, bounce it up to food, use the extra card to get that additional food, and like bounce that around. But I find with the baseboard especially, and it's different in the Oceania, which when you play one bird card up in the first forest row, you can then get that 2 food. I find it is such like an importance and such a struggle in that early game to make sure you can essentially double your output and be creating your engine even quicker.
Absolutely. I really do. I don't ever want to make like bash on anybody's creative whatever, but I do think they realized that their base game was slightly imbalanced, which is how come the dominant strategy in Wingspan is to build that middle grassland, and then just power the grassland, because you're getting every egg is worth a point. So I do think they realized that with the Oceania expansion, and basically they made the top and bottom like one space stronger and the middle one space weaker, which I really do think brings a lot of balance to the game. Even if you use nothing else from the Oceania with like the nectar and stuff like that, just that board change, I really like. It opens up a lot more opportunities.
So it's interesting, we can kind of see Angela's hand a bit here. Angela looking like she's holding onto the Morning Dove, which I know is a low-cost card, and then two birds which don't have any power to them whatsoever, but they look like they could go into the forest and might just be worth points. So again, trying to maybe focus on getting that food engine early on, and then also working towards that fourth end game goal. But a bit surprising to see only 1 brown power on those cards and two just white cards that are worth points.
Well, I think that 1 card is the furthest back.
The double build
is it the double build?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I was trying to catch a glimpse.
I think it might be. I think it might be one of the ones that lets you pull an extra bonus card. Which, if you're going to pull an extra bonus card, it's so much more advantageous to pull it early, where you can build for it, as opposed to pulling it towards the end and hoping you fall into 3 points. Where if you can play it early, you can really build it for 7, or if it's one of the ones that is like 2 points per kill power, or like I said, the one I got with the 2 points per omnivore, you can really rack up some points with those.
So it looks like Angela has kept 3 cards, Shaw has kept 3 cards, Henry has kept 2 cards, and David has kept 3 cards. Fairly standard. You'll keep between 2 or 3. I don't think there's ever a world in which we see Angela
Angela's
immediately.
going right for that Raven. Absolutely no hesitation there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen a few hands where people literally trash the entire one because there's a really good card in the rack to grab. But yeah, your starting hand would have to be really, really bad to not see any viable play for it.
It's one item.
Touch. No going back.
So Shaw grabbing some food, now sitting with, is that 2 cherries? So definitely we'll have one of those forest birds, which will enable her to scoop up additional resources.
Yeah, I think I think that's one of the ones. It's got like 6 points or so that lets you pull an extra food. Exactly like I said, it's a really beneficial thing to do. Because early on, you really want to get some cheap birds out. That's why I love the Morning Dove that Angela has. Because not only is it going to give her an extra egg, but it only costs 1 food. And that's really, really nice. Because early you want to get your engine going, so you really want those cheap birds.
Yeah. See, Angela not building anything to start either, just going for that food, maybe needing that wheat for her play. I assume...
Oh, sorry.
Well, it would be interesting to see if Angela does have a double build up top in the forest, but Angela's for sure going to try to build that Raven right away.
Yes.
Has huge designs.
She can't play that Raven until the start of round 2 due to
Yeah.
World Series rules. The thing is that's almost counterintuitive. Yep, that's the exact one. You get to pull a worm or a
Yeah, I
cherry.
represent Baltimore. Completely.
Yeah, 5 points. Wild Nest is always great. That Wild Nest makes that viable for 3 of your end round
Oh, yeah.
goals.
That's great.
That's a great card.
Best.
But back to Angela, though, it's almost counterintuitive because the Raven, since it gives you all that food, you almost don't even want to really play a lot of cards in that top row, because once round 2 comes, you're going to get all the food you want from the Raven.
Okay, I'm going off
with
health
round 3 or round 4 bonus being birds in the trees. It's going to be a delicate balance for her.
Okay, if BGA allows us to reroll, that's fine. Good.
Okay, what's the situation? Is the question, can you re-roll?
Because as I understand it, that has to come from what's in the feeder. It doesn't re-roll the feeder. It's not an actual.
No, he can reroll
Yeah,
the
so
feeder.
he can
There's
re-roll
one
the feeder.
The
Yeah.
option in the feeder. You can always reroll.
From the feeder,
Yeah.
even potentially like in this situation.
Yeah, players just checking the rules right now, but the judge ruling that exact thing. That's anytime you want to gain food from the feeder,
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
and there's only one face, you can definitely reroll, which Henry is capitalizing on so that he can use his bird's power.
Whatever.
Yeah, just touch it.
I'll take the wheat.
I have 5 cowboys.
And grabbing a wheat, probably the same. I think he gets a wheat or a cherry. So capitalizing on that bird's power, which there was a very low likelihood that he wouldn't be able to capitalize on that power when he did it. But good timing from Henry for his use of the bird feeder.
Yeah, I mean, I love both Henry and Shaw now getting 2 food every time they play that top row. Oh, that's a great card too from David. A nice early one, since like we were talking about. I think that's one that every time somebody does the lay eggs action, you get to put an egg down.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know that people are going to want to do that at least in the last round. People are going to do that 5 times. That's 5 victory points that you're going to get as long as you can keep egg spots open.
Yeah, a great play with that Morning Dove from Angela. The Morning Dove having such flexibility too. You can place it wherever you want. Angela opting for the water, the wetlands, because the Raven's going to be going in the prairies, and she already has those 2 forest birds in her hand, like we saw. We took a little peek at that beginning of the game. So it's a smart positioning from Angela, and then also following a nice rule that now Angela gets cards and eggs with 1 action and doesn't have to diversify it. And soon in round 2 we'll get eggs and food in 1 action. And so just having that flexibility is pretty huge for success.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can get something from the other the other habitat while taking a different action. Especially early, like that 1 extra egg allows so much extra play options for where she wants to put her birds. That's really gonna loosen stuff up, because if that 1 bird she has is a double build, she can get some more cards down in there in the bottom, not even have to take that egg action, and have the 1 egg she needs to go double build into the forest.
Yeah. Yeah, a nice juicy point bird that came up. I think that's worth 8 points up there. Could go into the prairies or the forests. The yellow-throated warbler, I believe.
Yep.
But
yeah, that's a nice card, and it's super cheap to play because it's only 2 worms. Worms are really easy to get, but early on, it's not helping you build that engine. It's like you said with Angela, and she has those 2 white cards, although there she goes and snaps another one. It's much more of like a late game card because it is huge points, but it's not going to activate at all. As I critique Angela and watch her, have a plan that I don't see coming because I don't know what her bonus card was.
Getting it.
That's true as well.
I mainly mentioned that because I remember last year Nick was commentating on my game.
Right.
And he was critiquing, as he was playing, he was critiquing all the omnivore birds I was picking up.
Right.
Like, I don't think that's the right play. And then at the end he was like, never mind, I see what you did there. So I'm hesitant
Yeah,
to,
a little bit of hidden information here to keep things exciting, or
Absolutely.
exciting,
Exciting.
as Mike mentioned to me before we started recording.
Yeah, I posted in a group I was in. I'm like, okay, guys, I need all the dad jokes about birds you can give me. They told me I would not regret asking, so
There we go. And we've arrived.
We've arrived.
David scooping up that white bird. What's interesting is that David's pink power has yet to be triggered, I believe. I can only see one lay eggs action, so maybe it was just triggered. Oh yeah, we see one egg down below. But what I find is really exciting about the pink powered birds is that everybody kind of, there's an unspoken agreement at the table that you have to block it, that you cannot do that action unless everybody's going to do the action, so that people don't get sort of peak efficiency from it.
Absolutely. And once somebody does that action, you're like, well, that wasn't necessarily what I was going to do, but I will now.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Angela just picked up a barn swallow, if I recognize that one right. I think it's one where you get to tuck a card and then draw a card, which is awesome because it's net neutral in your hand, and seeing more cards is always good. Plus, it's obviously the extra points. That's a great card to play down there in that bottom row when you're drawing a bunch of cards and then just able to cycle through more cards when you're like, I don't like these ones. That's another really nice pickup for her.
Yeah. Angela's sitting on a lot of bird cards right now, and just using that morning dove to get the eggs to prepare for her hand, to take her time until she needs to choose what food she's going to get from that raven, essentially.
Yeah. And that's the nice thing is she doesn't have to worry about food scarcity at all. She's not going to have to worry about what's in the bird feeder. She's not going to have to worry about, man, I need 2 rats or like that owl that's up there that needs 3 rats. Like, that is a very difficult bird to get down, but when you have the raven, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
We see
So
Shaw's
when you play, how many cards do you try to get down? How many birds do you aim for?
It depends, I guess, in terms of like just in the first round or in general, like across.
I mean, just in the first round.
In the first round, if I can hit 3, I feel pretty good. Like I like a quick development personally, but we're seeing all these. Well, we're seeing Shaw sort of gather up a lot of food. But if I could get 3 down, I'd feel pretty happy, because I also feel like with 3 birds and providing you're attacking those early round goals, 3 gives you a pretty nice chance of at least, tying for first, if not getting it outright, depending upon what's up there, if it's like eggs or based around nests. But yeah, I usually like to see 3, and then I feel I can work my engine from there. And so I always try to prioritize those sort of low cost food birds that can help me get that strategy and engine started. What about you, Mike?
I'm pretty similar. Yeah, I'm looking for like 3, maybe 4. I totally agree. Low food cost birds are great early.
Yeah.
To get, because again, getting those first 2 columns filled so you get that extra action in the top and bottom row to get 2 food or 2 cards is so beneficial. I actually rarely go for the first round goal because it's only 4 points and it's so frequently ties. Like this one might be a little bit different because it's eggs, but like when it's like number of birds in a habitat or something,
it's gonna be a tie. Yeah,
it's gonna be a tie, and it's like fighting for it to hopefully get 2 points when I'm like, or I can come in and get 0 if I can set myself up well. The first round goals I very rarely go for.
Yeah, the only time I feel like the first round goals make sense is if you're in a 2-player game. At least then you have that 3-point swing. Even the one I played the other night, I won the first 2 goals, and then I was like, great, don't have to worry about anything else. It's a wash. I can just worry about my board. right?
Yeah, it's actually a 6-point swing because you go up
Yeah.
3 versus them going up 3.
Exactly.
So it's actually a 6-point swing. Yeah, in a 2-player game, you have to go for it.
So draw 3.
I completely agree with that.
But I think you're right. In a 4-player game or a 5-player game, those larger games, you can safely ignore. Same within a 4 to 5-player game. That's when you'll see people playing birds with pink powers. If you're in a 2 to 3, just throw them in the garbage.
Absolutely. Yeah, a 2-player game, I don't think I ever play a pink power. So, and that card that we talked about is a card where Angela got to draw an extra bonus card, just like we mentioned. So she now has two cards to play for, which this early in the game, I would expect 10 points between those 2 cards.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
We see Shaw grab that barn owl. Having 2 rats just sitting there in her stack feels like she can ask it. She's not happy about the draw that's just flipped up though.
Yeah, which one is that? I think that's another one where when you lay 1 on this, everybody lays 1, and you get an extra 1.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's always nice. I mean, two for 1 is always a great deal. Yeah, the barn owl is nice because I think it's successful kills under 100 centimeters. Somebody much smarter than me did the math, and it's like 78% of the birds. So you have a 78% shot of getting a point on that, where the ones that are under 75 is only like a 58% or something like that. So it's not guaranteed, but it's a lot more likely than the ones where you're rolling dice and hoping to get a rat or a fish.
Yeah. In terms of, and I don't know if you can remember this from 2023, in terms of birds played that give everybody stuff, did you see any of those, or do you expect any of those to be played in this game?
That's a really dangerous card. I definitely saw some on my way. I know there was a game where, in fact, I know I played, the bird that's the cover art bird, I can't remember what it's called. I played that one in the final table where everybody was getting worms, and part of it was to counteract the fact that there was a crow played to my right, or a raven played to my right, and so he was going to get the food he was going to get, and so me putting out extra food helped me more than him because I thought he was my closest competition with that raven. So I think they're more often played when somebody's got one of those power birds and you're just trying to flood the market with extra cards or extra food. Like the hummingbird's always nice, but that's helping everybody also and letting everybody pick, which I almost prefer the ones where it's everybody gets a cherry or everybody gets a worm a little bit more.
Because you can manipulate it a little bit. You can set them up so that they don't have what they need. And we see Henry sitting on 2 actions and a heck of a lot of food. I think we'll see a double drop from Henry.
Absolutely.
And he has the eggs to expand into the forest should he need, but he's also probably watching to see if he can pick up 4 points by not doing that.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody else...
I think Angela's Morning Dove might be a bowl as well, and Angela has 1 egg on the Morning Dove currently.
I think the Morning Dove, I think that's one of those, like, just the piles of eggs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Looking a little bit.
But there is the Shaw has the Star Nest with 2 eggs on it.
True.
So she's definitely competitive. And David's bird in the bottom in the wetland is also a starbird. So there's definitely options out there. There's your double play though.
There's the double play.
Playing down into the wetlands.
No, you're good. I'm the one that's forgotten most. If that's the stat.
Who is the most forgetful? Well.
Yeah, I love that double play. Anything to get you to that all-important level 3 column.
Yeah.
We are delivering.
So David has...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's interesting because Angela has a stack of cards, which if she doesn't like any of those, that also can allow you to get the 2 food out of that tree. I mean, it's always hard to give up 1 resource for a different resource, but if you are looking at a card that you're never going to play, at least you get to turn it into something valuable.
Okay. How's action? 2x.
Angela's going to go lay some eggs.
Also, I think onto a bull nest, so vying for that tie. I think we might see a 4-way tie depending upon people's last plays. Sean
Yeah,
playing
see, that goes back to David not needing. David being like, if the 3 of you guys are going to tie, you can all take a point, and I'd rather set myself up for success some other way.
And use that action a little bit more efficiently.
Exactly.
Shaw dropping down a vulture.
Actually, I think that's the condor.
Oh, the condor. Yeah, the vulture.
That's the one that draws 2 bonus cards.
Yeah, the vulture is a pink power.
Yeah, which is also a great one, but nobody's playing any murder birds.
Murder birds.
Yeah.
The official term.
Here, I just called the other one, the pile of eggs on the ground. Like, I don't know. You said platform birds, and I'm like, I think I know which bird
That's the stick ones. It's the little stick ones.
Stick ones. Okay, that I totally knew. Yep, it's the stick birds.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
so Angela and Shaw are tied, so now Henry's got to really think if it's worth a subpar action of taking 2 eggs, because he doesn't get to activate anything else for a tie. And that's a tough call for him here versus maybe setting himself up if there's a food he really wants, or just drawing some cards, because I don't think he has any cards.
Yeah, I don't think he does either, and I think the problem that Henry's facing right now is that the cards that are up are not good or exciting. The one on the left just lets you draw 2 cards. It is one of the least exciting Whitebird powers.
He does have a card. There it is.
Oh, he does have a card. Okay, so he's going for it.
Oh, is that a crow? Yeah, that's in the American Crow. He does not look happy about that decision.
Not one of the ones outlawed, but managed to get 4 cards on the board compared to Angela's 2 and Shaw's 2, which feels pretty great to me.
Yeah, and the crow's nice because, again, I mean, you hate trading a resource for a resource, but when you're going to be pulling 3 eggs, the ability to turn one of those into any food you want. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times, and I'm sure you've had it too, where you're just like, the dice I need are not coming up in the bird feeder, especially if you're looking for fish or rats sometimes. You just can't get those, and so many of the birds that need them need multiple. It can be really frustrating.
Yeah. And it also, like, as it currently stands, an easy food conversion. You have 1 food of anything, use that to get the egg that you need to turn into whatever food you want. It's just a quick snip snap.
Yeah, you're just swapping out 1 food for another. That's totally true.
All right.
Clear?
Yep.
All right, so that's round 1 is over.
5 and those. So
5. Oh, David gets it outright, hitting 5.
Tie 4.
And then 2 of you guys tied for that, yeah.
So we get 0.
Well, and the thing is, just tying for second gets you no points.
Gets you
So,
0.
congrats on tying for second. You get nothing.
Yeah, which is a really nice spot for David to be in. They both take each other down, and they don't get anything out of that decision.
And I think that's also what Henry was probably thinking when he decided to play that last card, is rather than tie for second.
Go for it.
I mean, David clearly had the ability to win it outright, like you just said. So why even try to tie?
And we see Shaw and Angela just take a bathroom break, and so what I will do is we'll cut back to when they're back and play has continued because Shaw is first in round 2.
The World Series of Board Gaming is the premier event for tabletop gaming. Players from all around the world come here to put their skills to the test and take home a coveted $3,000 WSBG championship ring. With our grand champion taking home $25,000 and a free ticket and hotel to WSBG for the rest of their life, yeah, we think it's worth playing for. But that's not all. 2024 introduced the Phoenix tournaments, where players could rise from the ashes to take home cold, hard cash. Players won over $8,000 in that first year just for winning 2 games in a row. It's a walk-up tournament where everyone is invited, and players can have their second chance at glory. Throw in the best board gaming library in existence with over 2,500 titles, an open gaming area where you can train with the best, and the daily award ceremonies where we can't stop giving out door prizes. We are building the best and most supportive competitive community out there. This isn't just a convention. It's the most exciting event in the board gaming industry. So what are you waiting for? Get your tickets at WSBGVegas.com and get in the game. Use the code EARLYBIRD to save yourself $100 plus be automatically entered to win 3 incredible prizes. There's no better time than now.
All right, Shaw's sitting back down at the table. The bathroom break has completed, and Shaw will be going into round 2, drawing cards.
She clearly had some time to think. She went to the bathroom, made some decisions. I think if I caught that right, that was a hummingbird she just picked up, because you were just talking about whether or not it's useful to give everybody food.
I like to share. Yes.
Shaw saying, "I like to share," taking another one that that will help everyone around the table.
Yeah. Yeah, those are always still risky. I mean, because if you can time them right, where you're getting the best card or the best food or whatever, I mean, obviously that's useful. But if other people are doing things that only benefit them and you're doing things that benefit everybody, you got to really come out on the right end of that deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just feels like I never really want to play those cards. The last game I played, I had a hummingbird, and I just needed something in the wetlands. I was never going to take the wetlands action because I had the duck that draws. You discard a card. You discard an egg to draw 2 cards. So I said, great. I already have my draw engine in the prairies, and I don't really need to ever visit the wetlands. So I just put point birds down there because I was also competing for. My bonus objective was the lowest in your habitat, so I had to diversify.
Oh, yeah. That one's another one that's pretty easy to get 6 points in.
Mm-hmm.
So both Shaw and David threw away an egg in order to get some extra card draw.
Mm-hmm. Henry not needing that. Henry taking full value. But we see the first 3 moves of round 2 are just drawing cards, players having expended their options and want to see what they're working with before they go back to the bird feeder to get their food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shaw kept 3 cards off the bat, so we know she picked up the condor, so she's still sitting on 2 of her starting hand.
Yeah. And she picked up the barn owl too. Yeah, Shaw's got a nice mitt full of cards to work with.
Absolutely. Angela's played 2 of her starting cards. She's still got 1 more to go. But yeah, it's that first round. You generally are just getting rid of the stuff that you started with, unless something amazing popped up. I'm actually kind of surprised nobody grabbed that card in the middle. I can't read which one it is. I know it's a little bit expensive, but it is a free egg lay every time you play it, and I think it's worth like 5 points. It's not, and it's helping for that 3rd end round goal.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely a little surprised that nobody felt the need to play that one.
Yeah, it is a pretty solid one. It is worth 5 points for sure, and gives you that free egg every time. But it requires a lot of wheat.
Yeah, it does require a lot of wheat. Nobody's really sitting on a lot of that. That's another card cycling one. Tuck a card, draw a card. I always love having those down in the wetland, because this game is all about the number of cards you can see to get the cards that are actually useful.
Yeah. Mill through the ones that don't matter, especially in that late game when you're drawing those initial initial engine builders
Yeah, exactly.
that are worth 1 or 2 points. Unless they're hitting your objective, they're really just food for other birds.
Yeah, I mean, and being able to tuck it gets you a point, so it gets you something, and it's a net neutral. Unlike some of the birds where it's like draw 2 and discard 1, like
Yeah.
this is at least getting you an extra card or an
all you
extra
care
point
about.
out of it.
Right.
Interesting that Angela didn't play that Raven to start, although I think she needs a rat, if I
Mhm.
remember that card right. So she got a very, very nice roll there.
Yeah, I think that might have been Henry's role. I think Henry was capitalizing off of his bird, but she's definitely got the rats now available to her in the bird feeder.
Yeah, yeah, I would expect that to be her next play.
I have no money to pay.
Just the pace of play on this is very impressive with all of our players today.
Yeah, they're blazing through. This is definitely the quickest Wingspan final between the 3 years.
Yeah.
And players just, they know the game, they know what they're doing, they're dealing with the information that's in front of them, and that's kind of all you can do in Wingspan.
When it's wow, Angela's not going to grab food. I must be wrong about what she's got going on there. Very interesting. Oh, she picked up an eagle or a hawk. That's always nice. It's another really nice bird for that grassland. Another one that I think is either 75 or 100 centimeter kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially by this time of night, because if I remember right, Wingspan started again at 9 o'clock at night, and after playing for 12 hours to then start a 3-4 hour game,
Yeah.
can really take it out of players. So like I
Yeah.
get why they take a long time. You're tired, you're exhausted, and you're so worried about making a mistake.
Yeah.
So I totally get it.
You want to calculate the right thing. We see Shaw grab that extra rat, so we can presume a barn owl drop is going to be imminent. Maybe, I believe Angela probably went for the cards because she really likes her cards that she has and knows when she goes to get food that she wants an extra food. That can be the only reason I could see her doing that now versus later.
Fair. I mean, she has a ton of cards. Oh, I see what you're saying. Where that way, when she takes that action, she can discard a card.
Now
to
she
get
can
her
discard
cards.
one that she got. Yeah, because she was able to get
But
3
also-
cards in that draw, so...
But also, once she gets that Raven, like I said, she's going to get all the food she wants. She's not going to even
Mhm.
need to really worry about it. She's just got to get that out. I'm stunned she hasn't played that yet. She's got a plan. I'd be too excited to get it down personally.
Henry happy with whatever bird he just drew. He had a...
If someone had some attack birds, that would be great. Predator birds or whatever they call them.
Am
I the only one? Oh, wow.
I call them murder birds. We all just pick up words. I think the right word is predators, but whatever.
What am I doing?
Yeah, I've met 2 individual people who don't know each other who call Wingspan birds. Let's play birds.
Or birds.
All right.
Well, it's better than when my friends say, let's play the train game. And I'm like, okay, I've got 12 of those. You got to give me more.
That was me. 2 of something. Thank you.
Is that another crow?
It looks like it, like a fish
Yeah,
crow.
I think that's a fish crow, yeah.
Yeah.
Another nice swap out an egg for a food.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that's a-
that one's also worth 4 points.
Yeah, that's a real nice looking prairie for David. But again, he's got that pink power, which might have to do with those murder birds or attack birds, and that's why he was saying it. We haven't seen him activate it yet, and so I think that's what he had played early on, hoping that somebody would have a predator bird, and everybody just deciding, oh, you played that card? Okay, we will never play another predator bird for the rest of the game. But it soon will come now with Shaw, I assume, with those 3 rats.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
get
she's got to go get some eggs first. No, you just activated it. It's.
Oh,
I was
okay.
I thought I.
Oh, okay, it is the egg one. All right, great. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
it is.
yeah, okay, great, perfect.
I don't know why he's commenting about murder birds.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got another one he's holding on to until some murder birds get played.
That's my favorite.
Oh, the
The
Robin?
judge is being a little bit lenient today. A lot of times they'll make you play that cube for play a bird in the column you want to play it in, and they're not doing that today, which is nice. I'm all about friendly game that's fair for all.
Yeah.
It's really one of the nicest things about World Series board gaming is how friendly everybody is, even at like the high stakes table and stuff like that. I mean, yes, we all know the rules, but like, everybody's just a very, very friendly, even in a super competitive environment, which is shocking for people who don't play board gaming a lot or don't play in competitive board gaming at all. Just how kind everybody is.
How many spots does the ring?
That's always like, that's something that I have seen and have heard from a lot of people, but it is always great to hear more people sort of emphasize that. That's the feeling that I like, and what makes me personally like the event, right? Like I love the community that has sort of been built over these 3 years, and you see new members be added in, and you see these new stories with, you know, Shaw and Angela being at another final table together, but there's no animosity. They're like, they've become friends because of this thing.
Yeah,
and
tell me about it.
that's pretty cool when you're competing for decently high stakes. Like the rings are worth playing for.
Absolutely, they are. But I mean, that goes back to just, what do I tell people who are thinking about whether or not they should go? The answer is go. Like, it's so worth it. Everybody's nice, blah, blah, blah. But it's such a great time. But yeah, it's and there's a lot of people who are playing in round 1 and round 2 who know the game, but aren't like experts at it. And you can go have fun. And if you catch a power bird or you get a little lucky, all of a sudden you're sitting here at the final table with last year's champion.
Yeah. And here we see it. It's finally happened.
1, 2, 3.
Still valuable, still worthwhile to play, even halfway through round 2.
Yeah. Well, and she hasn't taken that action up until that point.
Yeah.
The only food action she took was to be able to get that one played. So it didn't really matter when she got it down.
Yeah.
She wasn't being suboptimal with it. I'd be willing to bet her next action will be to take that lay eggs action and get 2 very specific foods for something that's in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
We see Shaw. At this point, she has to be the favorite with 2 end round cards and a Raven. That's going to be tough to beat.
That's pretty powerful, yeah. Although, I mean, Henry's sitting on a nice board there with 5 birds played.
Yeah.
And a very balanced board as well. Shaw obviously vying for that potential end of round goal for this one, having all of her birds in the wetlands.
Yeah, she's absolutely looking good for that one. Well, and David's middle row is great. I mean, the crow's good. The other one's a tuck a card. And like I said early, that every time somebody lays an egg, get an egg. He's already activated that thing 4-ish times. As long as he can keep having spaces to drop these eggs, that's going to pay off 10 eggs during the course of this game, probably. If you tell me that I'm going to get a card that's going to give me 10 points, sign me up, and the winning score is only going to be about 100.
Yeah.
What card did Shaw play down there? Do you know which one that is?
Into the wetlands?
Yeah, is that another one that gives her a food?
I think it is, but I think that might be the one where it gives everybody a worm. I'm not quite sure. It's only worth 3 points.
It is a star nest, which will help with the round 3 goal also. And if she has any, because I think Shaw has cards too, and so I mean, if she has any of the ones that are based on birds with a certain nest, Starbird gets to count double if she has 2 of those, which again, always nice. Always nice when things do multiple things for you.
Yeah, it's tough for David, who just goes now to get food, but has nothing developed in that forest area. David will also not be in contention for that final end game goal, which is worth playing for at 7 points.
Absolutely, because even tied for first there gets you 5. And there's Angela playing right out of that middle row, doing exactly what I thought. Don't know what card she has that needs the wraps, but doing exactly what we figured. Yeah, David's middle row is great, but that goes back to what we said. It's so nice to get that third column. Getting 1 food at a time when other people are getting food and activating and getting cards and whatever. It's a little bit demoralizing almost. You're like,
Yeah.
That's fine. He's making my turn.
Especially halfway through round 2 as well. You hope to be doing something more.
Yeah. Well, and Henry's playing eggs. Hopefully David should be getting an extra egg here. I don't know why he isn't. Oh, I wonder if the birds... Nope, he can't, because the type of bird that he's allowed to lay on are both full right now.
Right.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he played it to make sure that he secured that round 1 end game goal because it, or end of round goal rather, because it was for the bold one.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get enough birds played to get those loosened up again.
Mm-hmm.
So Henry's sitting with 3 wheat. I wonder if he already has a card in his hand that needs the 3 wheat, or if he's looking at grabbing that middle card that's available that we were talking about earlier. Oh, there we go.
Wow, and David suddenly winning the race for that end of round 4 goal.
Yeah, that came out of absolutely nowhere. When I think Angela snapped that card we talked about early, that was 8 points for the 2 worms. I mean, that is a great card. I'm 99% sure that can be played into the forest. And that'll be a great card to play at the end into the forest to be competitive for that round 4 goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
That she can just hold on to, because she doesn't really need to activate that. She will never activate that top row. I can pretty much guarantee it. I can't fathom why she would want to. So putting a bunch of cards that are just white powers is exactly what she wants to do there. Oh, that's a Barn Swallow.
The Barn Swallow.
Nice little tuck and draw another one. Continue to cycle cards.
Yeah, which is like a monstrously strong middle row, because now Angela gets to do all 3 actions essentially by triggering that middle row.
Absolutely.
For the round. Just for the round. It still exists. No existential crisis is at the table.
You lay eggs.
They said it in such a definite way.
Again, we're talking about people should just come. Angela's first year was last year. She came because she had a friend who went the year before.
Yeah.
And then she came and won it all. And yeah, so here she is at the Wingspan final table, but yet I also know Arnak was the game. She won Castles. She feels that Arnak's one of her stronger games.
Yeah.
What did I do?
So
How dare you ruin this? He worked so hard.
Show up.
Whatever move this was.
Henry playing like I do, which is just talk to yourself and wins. He's saying, do I do it now? No. Do we do it? I always say we. I always use the royal we whenever I'm playing. He plays the Sandhill Crane.
Okay. Well, that's what he was holding on to that weed for. What's that one? What's that one get him? I can't read that power. On that
It
one.
looks like a tucking power, so it'll be I think tuck and draw, very similar.
Token. Yeah, that does. There's like extra stuff at the end of that though, compared to Angela's Barn Swallow. So there might be something else on there. I don't ever play that card because for 3 food, and I think it's only worth like 3 victory points. I don't think I've ever played that card before. And it didn't look like Henry was loving that he was playing it either.
Oh no, but it's discard 1 wheat to tuck 2 cards from the deck behind.
There it is. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
And I can now guarantee I've never played that one.
Yeah, but it was my turn since then.
But pretty strong if you've got something that's giving you food, or giving you wheat specifically. You're just getting that 2 points.
It gets really
well, and that goes back to that crow that he has there. So he already has a wheat. So if he runs through it, he can trade an egg for another wheat. He theoretically should always have a wheat in his hand to be able to activate that. It would be nice if those 2 cards were switched, just so he doesn't have to hold it from one to the next. But he's always going to have that.
And we see that's exactly what Henry's sitting on. Is just that 1 wheat that's remaining as well.
Yeah. As Angela cycled through a card, picked up a victory point, discarded an egg, grabbed more food, possibly for the card she literally just picked up.
Yeah.
And just toss the other one in there, save for later.
Wow. She's getting ready to play that the eagle or the hawk, the two rat hawk that we saw her grab a while back.
5, yep. So you guys are tied for first. You're taking third, and I am getting.
Wow, and a tie for first on the egg. Shaw won't want to see that. So you get 3 points each because it's rounded down.
Yeah, it's rounded down.
So we need a break.
So it's 5 and 2. So yeah, it's 3 points each. With Henry picking up 1.
Next time.
I will. Henry is 2.
Yeah,
I
David
like the
coming
fact
out on
that
top.
I like the fact I can see Angela's cards. Makes me like invested in her because I'm like, ooh, I can see what she's doing.
Yeah.
Where the other ones, I'm like, it's a little bit more guessed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice that Angela's doing us a solid and holding them a little out.
Yeah.
For the viewers at home. That's what you get with the World Series of Board Gaming Pro. She knows the camera. She knows how to work it. She knows how to let the viewers in so that all of her sponsorship deals go through for next year.
Absolutely. I'm sure she's the big time sponsors.
Oh yeah. If any sponsors are watching and you want to sponsor our players, contact us and we'll put you in touch. They'd be happy to wear your merch when they make it to this final table if you pay their way into the World Series.
Absolutely. Ignore the fact that I said I've only made one out of the first round once. Feel free to sponsor me. I'll be happy to wear your merch.
Yeah, we're in bad shape now.
I wear my World Series of Board Gaming shirt to work probably like every other week. And strike up conversations about it.
That's awesome.
So Henry did exactly what we figured he was going to do. He ran through that grasslands, and at the end, he discarded the egg to have a wheat so he can do it again. That's a great move. Nice, easy 2 points. Because now's when you really want to be looking at what do you want to do in your fourth round.
Yeah.
Because ideally, you want to get one habitat that you're going to run 5 times in round 4.
Yeah.
And how you're going to get points. So like in Henry's case, he's going to get 3 eggs for 3 points. He's going to tuck the wheat to get 2 more points. So that's 5.
Yeah.
He's going to ditch a card to draw a card. So that's like a net neutral. That's 6. And then he's going to toss the egg. So he's currently built a 5-point row in that middle row with time to spare. But I mean, if you can run that 5 times in the 5th round, I mean, that's 25 points right there. And that's the kind of math that you're looking at this point of like, do I have a tuck engine on the bottom? Do I have a good engine in the middle, which is the easy one since the eggs are already there? And that's the math that all these guys are doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Henry knows that he could just have 50 points. That could be the end of Henry's game. He could say, I'm happy with these 50 points. He has 10 actions left. That's what he could do.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough spaces to put eggs. And that's kind of where you get stuck with some of those birds, is that they don't have enough options. That's one of the reasons why the Mourning Dove is so great, because it has 5 spaces on it. Compared to some of these other birds, some of these other cheap birds. Angela's going to throw that hawk right there in the middle. There it is. I think that's a 75 if I remember right. Might be an 85. Hawk, golden eagle, whichever one that is. One of those murder birds.
One of the murder birds.
Well, and so like Angela though, so Angela gets to play a little bit different here. She's playing more where she's going to be able to run that middle engine, get a couple of points, but since she's going to get 2 food, she's going to be able to keep hopefully dropping big, powerful, high point birds.
Yeah. Yeah, the golden eagle worth 8 points, and then also activates on a 100-centimeter wingspan. So really great probability there. Plus, you just get 8 points.
Yeah, that's that one that I said 70. It's 78%. Yeah, I think it's 78, some number like that. Yeah, plus the 8 points, and that's kind of what I ended up doing last year. Was I didn't have a power bird, but somehow I got enough food that I was able to just keep dropping those huge birds.
Yeah.
We know she has another 8-point bird in her hand for the 2 worms she already is sitting on.
And she kept that other white bird as well. So I think that's a high value bird from the get. I think Angela's got that plan to drop 2 really high value and hopefully take the 7 points that go along with plopping them down in the forest.
Yeah. Especially if she can spring them on them late, because again, if everybody else is working towards that 4th round, I'm going to try to run my middle engine, or if Shaw's trying to run a bottom engine. If she can drop a couple of birds late, it's like, shoot, now I can't really go for that 7 points, because while I would love to go for it and compete for it, it's still more beneficial for me to still run that middle row.
I do.
I think Angela is in a pretty strong position. I think Shaw needs to be worried, only still sitting at 4 birds at the current moment in time. And I do like Henry's chances. I feel like Henry is currently Angela's biggest competition, just based upon how these boards are set up.
Yeah, if I could be anybody, I want to be Angela right now. But if I couldn't be Angela, I want to be Henry.
Yeah.
And this goes back to, like, there's that little bit of luck. All of these are very competent Wingspan players. They've all won 3 games to get here.
Oh yeah.
But Angela happened to sit at seat 1 with a raven that popped up off the bat.
Yeah.
And getting it, knowing that she had it early, meant she didn't have to really develop that top row engine at all.
Yeah.
Allowed her to slow play some stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's you got to be good. You got to know how to use the luck that's thrown your way, but you got to have a little bit of luck.
I had no context to what y'all were talking about.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of that, anybody can make it. All you got to do is win 4 games. If you've ever won 3 to 4 games in a row, you've got a chance to make it to the finals.
It's funny too. This is a surprisingly quiet table, and I think that might be because they're moving so quickly. There's not a lot of lag time to get bored and chat. But it's funny because you hear the table behind Shaw joking and laughing and stuff like that, and it's interesting how different the table dynamics can be depending on just who you play with.
Yeah, for sure. Because you had a pretty vibrant table too. I was going to make a comment that it's a lot of like heads down conversation. Like when a more insular experience Wingspan, there's not any direct player interaction. There's not really that much blocking other than, timing out your dice rolls in the bird feeder or snagging the card from the card market. But generally speaking, it's your own game. It's
a solitaire game.
Yeah.
Multiplayer and solitaire does great. But we definitely had a pretty heavy table. But at least three of the four of us were pretty talkative.
Mm-hmm.
But part of that was also, like I said, it was 11:30. We were just trying to stay awake.
Yeah, you do what you can. Definitely is a marathon.
I was definitely living on Mountain Dew. By the way, love to sponsor that bad boy if Mountain Dew's listening. That was literally how I lived that day because I was so tired. And the next day also. Because, our game didn't finish until after midnight. By the time they announced semifinals, all of that following day, I was living on like 2.5 hours of sleep. Oh, Angela found one of the few cards that doesn't kill.
Yeah.
That was the Canadian Goose.
That's good news for everybody else around the table.
Yeah. That card has the exact same power as Henry's card. That one I know I have played. You tuck the wheat in order to get 2 cards.
And store this one out
17
for 2 bucks.
This one's tough too, because a lot of times in Wingspan you can't really tell who's winning or who's doing what.
Yeah.
But that Shaw is feeling a little bit defeated right now because she just hasn't gotten the cards to break her way, and she's trying everything she can, but it's just not quite clicking for her.
Yeah, I think Shaw must be going for that end of round goal now with that play. Playing a pink bird right now feels a bit rough.
Yeah. Well, the turkey that just flipped up, that's another 8-point bird.
Mm-hmm.
Can be played into the top. Angela is flush with food. That's another really. I would not be stunned if one of Angela's next 4 moves is to get that bird, is to get that turkey.
So I guess he doesn't consider you part of the orbit, right? Like, you have to.
Yeah, it's just does she want to? Oh no, but she can tuck and draw, right?
She can tuck and draw right with that barn swallow right out of the middle.
So that's unless somebody grabs it, I think we could see it. Unless Angela thinks that she has enough with those couple that she has in her hand, but why not grab it so that nobody else can?
Oh, there it is. Henry snagged it.
Henry heard what I said. Why not grab it so nobody else can?
Yeah, whether that was a hate draft because he doesn't want her to get it, or he thinks he can get it down. There is no reason to leave that on the board for her.
Yeah.
Although that's a great egret, that's another 7-pointer. Like, there's some big point birds coming up, which only really benefits Angela as the only person with a good food engine.
And we see Angela's been loading up on grubs too. I think we might see some birds dropped into the forest, unless Angela is trying to be cheeky and not reveal her hand too soon. I think Angela's shown great fortitude and patience from the early stages, the very initial grabs of her cards. She's grabbed she grabs that egret.
Yep. Which I think, if I remember right, allows you to play a second card. So she must have another wetland card she wants to play.
Yeah.
Oh, she just picked up a Roadrunner. That's another Murder Bird 7-point card.
Angela is just flush with options right now.
Yeah. And now you're almost at a spot. I mean, she's sitting on 5 cards. Now, granted, she's going to be able to tuck some, but it's a tuck and draw, so it's a net neutral.
Yeah.
Like, she's got so many choices, and at some point, there's only so many cards she can still play.
Yeah.
And that's where you start winnowing down, like, what's really going to get her points. I'm really curious. I wonder if she has Did she tuck the other card she kept at the beginning, the other white power card? Unless it's that one in the back. Because that yellow card we can see there is the one we know she snapped. I wonder if it's that back one.
It was a little bit
It looks like it might be in the back. It's kind of obscured by her name right now. Yeah, I can see. I just got a glimpse of it being the singular forest. I think she still has it.
Okay, so
Great Wall of Kansas.
The Great Cyclone Wall for cyclers, because that's what they are. They're cyclers.
There they are giggling in the background again.
The Great Western Trail game, talking about the Great Wall of Kansas.
Yeah. I mean, Henry still has a really nice engine going on here.
Yeah.
He's got to get a couple more birds played just to have the egg spots.
Mm-hmm. I think it all depends. Henry also... Does Henry have 2 bonus cards?
He does not.
Yeah.
He does not, because the one card, the one white power he has was a double bill.
Was a double play, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Henry is the furthest behind on those end of round goals too, just by a bit, because by 2 points, 2 points, because Angela and Shaw have 3 to their name.
Henry chose not to take a wheat that turn, which is very interesting. He must have a bird that he needs 2 worms for. But if you notice too, the bird feeder is almost completely tied. Nobody's really pulled from the bird feeder. You can look at the things. Literally, no one has taken a game food action.
Yeah.
We are almost all the way through round 3, but with David and Henry both being able to trade a food for an egg for any food they want. I don't know how Shaw's getting food. It's crazy that nobody. I mean, she came into this round with a lot, but it's crazy that nobody's taken that action. Obviously, Angela's not, and now you're almost in a spot where it's like the standoff where it's like I don't want to take food because I don't like what's in the bird feeder.
Yeah.
And if I take the food now, whatever shows up is going to be good, and people are going to take it from me. Angela's going to play one of those. 2. Yep, there's that one.
Nice.
8 points we knew.
8 points.
Yep, another that white action up there, which she doesn't care about. Just like you said with that hummingbird, never gonna activate it.
No, it's unused. Yeah, it's unused.
Ooh, what
As
is
soon as your
that?
turn
Is
starts,
that every time somebody plays a bird in the forest?
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. I didn't see her. Oh, she didn't actually. No, she used it, but I didn't see her do anything with it. So I'm not sure. Shaw's continuing to work on that top row.
Mm-hmm. Gonna provide that competition for Angela, but I think we'll see where Henry drops this one. I can only imagine it's gonna go into the prairies since it's got all 3, unless he's gonna vie for
Yeah, I think Henry's decided he's running an engine. He's not going for end goals, and we'll see how that affects him. And how many points he cedes to the other team. Henry's praying for ties as much as he can.
Yeah.
I mean, and in his mind, if he thinks, and I think we can all say Shaw is behind the 8 ball right now. If Shaw decides that that's her final stand, that's good for him.
Yeah, that's
he
great
wants
news.
Shaw to win, and David and Angela to tie for second. Like that would be ideal for him. So, I mean, he just added another 2 points to that 3rd row engine because he gets an extra egg and he gets an extra tuck and draw. That's another thing that's hard with this game is like you end up getting attached to your cards. And you're like, but I really want to play this one. And it's like, it is better to tuck and draw another one frequently. That is something people really struggle with when I play locally with Terraforming Mars or Wingspan or Arc Nova. You just fall in love with so many cards, and it's like you got to just keep going, keep cycling.
David dropping an owl with a big cost. He didn't have 2 rats required to play it, so he had to spend 1 rat and then a fish and a cherry for the other wild rat.
Popping out now out of nowhere.
That's the second time he's done that. Oh, there's another one of Angela's. That's the
There's
other one
another
that
one
we usually
Angela's.
have in the beginning. That's another 7 points, 7 points, I think.
It's close all around. Like she's just spitting out birds like crazy, and
David's commenting on exactly what we did. She's just picking birds out.
Roll for this.
yeah, we'll do the roll. Yeah.
Yeah, and David's got that owl. The owls that make you roll are so difficult because your odds are so dependent by how many dice aren't in the bird feeder,
Yeah.
and that gets so tricky because the number of times that it's like, and you roll 1 die, and your odds are 1 in 6. And
Yeah.
For hunting,
it gets difficult to count on it for any amount of points. Shaw's doing some murder birding up there.
Gobbling up
I'm sorry. I'm not going.
gobbling up a couple points at least while she gains the food she needs. It's nice, but it's only a 2-point turn when, you know, Henry's getting a 6-point turn. Or now potentially even more because he gets 4 eggs.
Henry's up
Depending
to
upon-
8, depending on whether
Yeah.
or not he discards an egg for another wheat. Although this time he
Yeah.
doesn't have a wheat, so
That's
it's
true.
not. So this turn it's only going to be 6. But yeah, he's now up to. He should be running an 8-point middle round if he can get enough egg spots down.
Yeah.
at this point.
There it is. Do I keep the card or not? Just tuck it and pull another one, unless it's amazing.
Yeah. Unless it's a big point getter, or at this point in time, Mike, would you want to hold on to something that gave you bonus, like a bonus card draw? Because it is so who knows what you're gonna hit, right?
Yeah, it's so dependent on what it is, you know. Oh man, look at Henry. Henry's totally doing the math there, figuring out
Yeah.
how many points it is. He's probably already looking at, because yeah, we're on the last one. He's counting up how many egg spots he has and looking at the fact he can drop 4 eggs a turn and seeing whether or not he has enough space. And I think he just realized he doesn't with that
Yeah.
shake of that head, which means he has to do something else, which is every time he does something else, he doesn't get to run that middle row, which is unfortunate. I at this point, I mean, I'm still hoping to pull one that's going to get me 3 points, but I mean, I don't like to go fishing. I love that Shaw and Angela both grabbed that bonus card early and then just went with it. I know there are people who know exactly how many, like know all the bonus cards and
Yeah.
know the odds and all of that, and they're like, okay, I'm building for this, and I'll put this card instead of that, so I have whatever. There's some math people out there. But yeah, I'm not pulling bonus. I'm not going out of my way to pull a bonus card right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I generally also find that because the bonus cards are so varied and require you to have at least a little bit of focus on if they're up in the row to grab them, it's hard to luck into something that's going to get you a lot of points when you could just spend your time building a guaranteed point bird, as Angela's done in those top 2 sections.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you're playing something, because most of those bonus cards, they're 3-4 point birds, and you're hoping to get another 3 point, like you're hoping for 7, and it's like,
Yeah.
or I could just play the one that gets me a 7.
Get 7.
Angela just grabbed 2 fish. I don't know.
That's
I
for the
don't know if
egret.
it's- it's the egret, that's right.
Yeah.
That's that egret, which is going to be a double build, so she's probably going to take that middle row action one more time.
I don't know.
Oh, 3 point.
Three-way
for first.
tie.
Henry loves that.
That is huge for Henry.
Because that's 6-3-2, if I remember right.
Yeah.
We're looking at 11 divided 3 ways, so everybody's getting 3 points,
Three.
and Henry's getting 1 coming in last. So I mean, that is fantastic for Henry.
That is the best news that Henry could get, and wants it to happen again in this next round.
Yeah, because he's not playing for that.
It is a bit surprising to me. I remember Shaw picking up an owl early on, or at least I thought I did. I know that David has played an owl, so maybe it was that, but I thought Shaw had an owl that she was.
Yeah, Shaw had the great horned owl for three
rats. But we haven't seen it.
I wonder if Shaw's bonus card is the murder bird one, because she's already got 2 of them. She did grab that big old owl. I mean, that's 2 points per. A lot of those murder birds are pretty decent points anyway.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be stunned if her bonus is a murder bird. It could also be the one that is. I mean, it could be anything, but it could also be the one where birds in the forest that can only be played in the forest, and she is working towards that also.
Yeah.
But that's reading tea leaves, trying to figure out what she might be having over there. Angela, shocking nobody, runs right down the middle again.
Yeah. Grabbing those eggs, we'll get a little bit more food to make sure that you can get that play into the wetlands efficiently in this last round. Angela's going to be sitting with a lot of... Again, that eagle doesn't make good, though. That is great.
Yeah, I think that was the
for
Peregrine
everyone.
Falcon. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think everybody right now is... I mean, we all love Angela, but I'm pretty sure everybody's rooting against Angela right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because you end up sitting with some of those dice rolling ones, and it won't work like 3, 4, 5 times in a row. And then when it finally does, like the whole table's like, "Yay! It finally worked for you!" Like you almost don't even feel bad. You're like, "Hey, it took you 4 times to get 1 point. Good for you."
Yeah, we can all cheer about it. We'll feel
Absolutely. Shaw plays a Willet. That is a fantastic card early. That's another one that I absolutely love. It's 1 food cost. You have options on food. It's 4 points. That's a great early card. I don't love it late.
I don't love it late either, because especially paying 2 eggs for it, you're getting 2 points. You'd say another 2-point turn for Shaw, whereas again with Henry running those 6 and 8 point, it just feels tough to be able to catch up as Henry runs his engine and will be throwing away that wheat.
Yeah, and I mean, not only is it only a 2-point turn, it's also opportunity cost, because she had to pay a food for it. Could that food have been used to get something better, something in the wheat that only would cost her 1 egg, and up her from the 2-egg gain to the 3-egg gain if she ever does start playing through the middle?
Henry is looking scary. Like, Henry's tech score is going to be out of this world.
Yeah. Yeah, really his biggest issue is he only has...
No, you should have a card. Yes.
Yeah, you should have a card.
I don't think he has a single egg spot left.
Yeah.
And that's brutal right now. He only has 1 food, no egg spots to play. There's not a great bird available. That one on the right's not awful. It would add another fucking draw for him, but like you said, it's only worth 2 points. It's going to cost him 2 eggs. Gives him something to do, but
yeah.
Henry's like, can we just end the game 4 turns early?
Yeah, I think Henry would be in pretty good shape right now if this was it. But Angela's still having some pretty big birds to lay down. I think might just give her the edge. David's board has been looking really solid too, but just in terms of the amount of eggs that are out there, but he doesn't have the food that Angela currently does. And again, similar to Henry, David looks like he's still got some egg room, but not too much. He's got 2 eggs on his barn owl, and he's got 2 eggs down on that second bird in the wetlands. I think that's it.
Yeah, and Angela has tons of space.
But she just has so many high value cards that she's going to run those eggs and play some high value cards and then run the eggs again.
Well, and she just gathered again because she's going to get that double play down there in the wetland on her next turn.
Yeah.
It's going to be the egret into something else ridiculous. I was joking early that I put up some ridiculous, like 50-point bird score, and I have a feeling Angela's going to say, hold my beer, and
Yeah.
be like, it's adorable. You think 50 is a good number.
Yeah, because I think you were like 53, if I'm remembering correctly. It was something along those lines.
Something like that. I know I took a picture of my scorecard and then lost it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
The bird doesn't work again.
The golden eagle. This is music to Henry's ears right now.
Score 1.
We'll see what food Angela needs.
Yeah, I don't think Angela's not going to have a lot of eggs. I just don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah.
And also, I'm also so curious what her victory point cards were. The one thing she kept close to her chest, that way we couldn't see it in the camera.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the bird, like the fewest birds in your habitat,
Yeah, the bird balance one.
just because of how her board is shaping out to look.
When she grabbed it pretty quick, like, if you remember all the way back to the very beginning of this, she put down one of the bonus cards like right away. Like, it was clearly not going to be that one.
Yeah.
Shaw's kill doesn't work. Definitely works on that little boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Shaw's now gathered some more rats, so maybe we'll see that drop of the murder bird.
It's worth points.
I'll wait for less.
It's the one, yeah. It's the 4 other points that you care about at this point.
Henry just deciding to opt for 4 points because he doesn't have that room in that engine.
So he is just literally giving up 3 points.
Yeah.
Because and next turn it's going to be 4 because he doesn't have eggs. I don't love that move. I would be trying to get, because even if you take a turn, oh god, that's so hard.
It's tough because you need to take a turn to get cards, and then you need the food to do it. So it's essentially 2 turns of not running this engine, which if that could get you 8 points, what bird is going to get you? You'd need a high value bird and have some egg space just to run it one more time.
If you grab that one on the far right as one of the cards that he grabs as he pulls through, he could play it. It would open up 3 more spaces and give him another tuck on his way.
Yeah.
Although then he wouldn't have the cards to tuck because he would have played the card.
He would have played the card.
Oh man.
Then he needs to continue to cycle. Yeah,
he's getting 4 cards or 4 points, which isn't bad. But really, you're hoping by this point that every time you're doing something, you're getting 6.
Yeah. That's tough. That's really tough for Henry. Again, he wished the game could end earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, and Angela's just sitting there just waiting.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're going to see it.
We're going to drop the egret right here.
Play this great egret. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Leg. Scatter. Yes. Another bird.
Oh,
into a goose.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my goodness.
The slaughter.
Yeah.
That's another 9 points.
I have to pay 2x.
Wow.
Okay, now.
No, not yet.
Those are huge.
So that turn, that's 16 points of bird she put down, cost her 3 eggs.
Wow.
We're talking about Henry getting 4 points a turn. Angela's like, I'll get 13.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the remainder of your actions plus 1. Thanks for playing.
Yeah. Oh, there's the murder bird. We've been waiting forever for that one to come out.
And Shaw currently locking up the end of round, but I think we'll see another play from Angela. Maybe not.
Yeah, I know.
With only 2 actions yet left, she's got tons of spots to put her eggs down.
Yeah, I don't have
She might just use that 1 worm to get 1 extra egg down.
Well, I did it in 2 points.
I mean, unless she has another huge bird, she's just running that middle engine is going to get her the 3 for the eggs, hopefully a kill, although that's not working well. So that's 4 plus a tuck. She's getting 5 points.
And
so playing a card
which would tie, which would just get her an increase of 2 points essentially, because she's getting 4 points for hitting second right now.
I'm
getting
no matter which way you do it.
Yeah, so tying to get like 1 extra point, again, with probably who's not her closest competition, and it's costing her the 2 eggs to get. I would be surprised if Angela plays another bird.
Yeah. The only reason to do so would be to hit like the second tier of her objective cards.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I have an egg, please? I have a feeling we're going to be low on eggs.
That's really funny.
As Henry gets another 4 points.
He's just replacing the 1 egg, and I'm just replacing 1 egg too.
But I was surprised I didn't hit why I draw 6.
I mean, just put it to the side. I don't know why I keep putting it back in there. We know where it's at.
David joking that we know that's coming right back to you.
Yeah.
We've seen this story before.
I mean, Henry's gonna have like 20 some cards tucked.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna matter. I have a feeling we've been talking this whole time about how it could be close, and I have a feeling Angela's gonna have this by like 20 points when all is said and done, especially with the extra bonus card she's sitting on.
Yeah, just that swan being the second card in the wetlands that Angela's been holding on to. That's devastating for everybody around the table to see.
Yeah, and now, like you said, are you digging for a bonus card here? Like, what could David possibly get that he's...
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's the one that, like, have 9 cards, 2, 4, 6, 8. No, he only has 8 birds that can put eggs on it. I mean, it could be the one that's, like, have 7 or 8 birds with an egg on it. It could be... At least he doesn't have to take a long decision here, because it's either has it or he doesn't.
Yeah, you look at your board. Which one gives you more?
Yeah, Angela just threw that food, so I think she's just running eggs here.
Yeah.
She got all the space in the world.
I wanted to block that pass space so bad, but I didn't have the...
Angela might also have the one where it's, because of the fact she's got all of her birds spread out so far for the eggs, she might also have the one that is have 1 egg on 9 different cards.
The Golden Eagle finally hits. The first time in 4, the opposite percentage of what 78% should be.
Just playing giant birds. So your tuck pile is fighting her giant birds, is what it is. The other 2 of us are just kind of watching.
Yeah.
David and Shaw joking about the fact that they know they're playing for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't matter, but...
Angela grabbed 2 worms. Although I guess even if she just throws 1 food for the egg, it's a wash.
Exactly.
Gives her a little bit of flexibility, maybe.
Is there an additional like 4th tiebreaker on food remaining? That
is the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
That is the tiebreaker. Actually, I think that's first tiebreaker.
So she loses nothing by doing that and gives herself a chance at a tiebreaker, because we're going to see her throw away one of those food to get that egg right back.
Yeah, absolutely correct. See, I'm playing checkers. Angela's playing chess. I didn't think for a second that was the right move, but she knew what's up.
This is more like what it usually looks like.
Oh, so we can blame this on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean like my score.
Oh.
Shaw saying this is more what it usually looks like for me.
So good at this point. Yeah. There's not much we can do about it.
Looking at her board.
Really all I can do is play some eggs. I can just fit 3 on there. That's all I got.
So much points.
Yeah, I think David, hoping he could get points, it was the card that he had, and he knew that he would lay eggs on it. And he hits it.
Look at Shaw. Yep. Laughing, smiling. Everybody loves it when a single die roll works out for you.
Oh yeah, especially if it's for David or Shaw at this table.
Oh, she's playing 1 more bird.
Wow.
Interesting. So I mean, it cost her 2. She gained 4, so she gained 2 cards. 2, but she's hoping for a bonus.
Yeah, I don't mind this play, especially because running her Golden Eagle hasn't hit the way that she wants to, so it's not a guarantee. So she's guaranteed 4 points if she does it down below. She's hoping that she could... I probably would have run the eggs.
But she's also guaranteed 4 points because it's a 2-point bird when you get rid of the eggs. Plus, she's going to bump up and get 2 extra points for tying first place.
For tying first place.
Yeah, she's 4 points either way with a hope on a bonus card.
Yeah, and you might as well take the bonus card hope, which could give you 3 or 4 instead of, or 6 if she didn't have the balanced breakfast objective. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of ones. She has a couple of starbirds. She has 2 different starbirds, so there's a decent chance that, I mean, if it's the platform test, look at me using proper words, or like some of those other ones, like she's got a lot of some of those.
I believe he means stick birds, Mike. I believe he means stick birds.
So there we go. Stick birds, cup birds, eggs on the floor.
All right, you 2 split first. I get third.
All right. Also,
let's see what's gonna happen.
And I guess you're.
But yeah, the problem with Henry's fighting chances is that we see all of Angela being pretty far up on those end game goals, and Henry really getting nothing from it.
Absolutely true. I mean, Angela tied pretty much for everything. I mean, Henry was loving ties, but eventually you got to get up there a little bit.
If you need a that works too.
As Angela has to pull out a calculator to calculate all her giant birds.
That was a 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think we saw 93 on the screen, which must have been Angela's score to get into this. Must have been a semifinal round carryover. That would be my bet.
Yeah, that would be my guess. And 93 is a relatively low score, which goes back to, it takes a little bit of luck. I mean, it was funny. I looked at it this year. I played Wingspan this year, felt the need to defend a title while these guys are counting. And I put up a higher score in my first round this year and got eliminated than in all 4 games that I won last year.
Wow. Angela hitting 52.
And I put up like 100 and how much?
52 on her birds.
Woohoo! If I had a 53, that means I'm still higher. Take the win. 52, 37. Very respectable.
30?
Henry says, you know what? It's late. I'm not going to add.
That's 30.
Make it 30.
15, 16,
Our Judge Travis.
6, 10,
16,
and 32. But you don't count.
32 for David and birds.
Just for prudence sake. So that's 6 makes 12, 18, and another 14 makes 32.
32.
Angela's already up by 15 points. Which honestly is less than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, Henry's got a chance here.
This one has 8.
Ooh.
Because Angela really doesn't have a lot of tucks. She really doesn't have a lot of eggs.
10.
I literally just said a minute ago, I thought she was going to go, oh, wait, they just said what her were.
Yeah,
I missed them.
10. She had a total of 10 points, so she got 8 off of one of them, I think, and just 2 off of another.
That's still pretty good.
That's actually pretty bad for 3 cards. Shaw got 13. That's really nice. Oh, Henry got nothing.
6 on that guy, 6 on that guy, and 4 on that, so 16.
Wow, 6, 6, and 4. That's really good. I didn't even see him pick up that other one.
I mean, it's gonna be close. That pile just worries me across the board because there's really nothing you can do about that.
All right, so end of round goal.
Wow.
Angela has 0.
Can you see what Henry's card is that he flipped up there? What was it?
5, which is 12.
Oh, I think he had the one that was play in the
That's 3-way tie.
Okay, yeah.
play in the top forest.
I think it might be Platform Builder. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Wait, 11, so it's like
I see. I didn't see the
3
green.
plus 5 plus
No,
4.
plus
It's a
3.
3-way tie, so it's a 3-way for round 3.
So this is
That's only worth 3.
okay. So sorry.
3, 6, and
3,
then
3, and
that's only.
yeah.
No, that last one's only 4. No. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, right here.
Once you start doing all the ties, the math gets a lot harder.
And you also have
Yeah.
11.
So
Looks
Angela
like
got 11 bonus points. Shaw got 11 bonus points.
4, I think I only got 8.
Henry with that one that we knew.
Oh, sorry, 4, 3.
Yeah, the lack of bonus
10,
cards and the lack of end round scoring is really going to get Henry.
That's going to hurt Henry's chances. I think if he had one that he was competitive with, he might be okay.
Yeah.
9 eggs, 8.
Is that 16 eggs, Henry?
16 for Henry.
They just did not have the egg capacity. Because David's got more than that.
23 for David. That's nice for David, especially with that 16 points in bonus cards.
Yeah, David might be a lot closer than we thought.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
One food for David.
This is where you
I
start
think
counting.
that Henry's going to win this category probably.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for some tough cards.
Oh, you got to start counting, yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
8 points for Angela for tech cards.
6.
6 for David. 4 for Shaw. And Henry just clearing the board.
Angela's over there adding up her points, trying to see what it is.
That min stack is just disgusting.
It's 2 points.
Angela for 90.
90 points.
That's a very beatable score.
Yeah.
I messed up.
I did expect it to be a little bit higher.
I absolutely did. Shaw for 73. Henry is still counting tough cards in a ridiculous manner.
88 for David.
Oh,
Too
David
short.
88.
Oh, not nearly as much as I thought.
36 tough cards for Henry.
Oh my God.
Angela
behind
wins.
me?
I think Henry hits 85. That looks like.
Yeah, it's what. Yeah,
Oh, no,
somewhere in there.
83, and Shaw was 73. Wow, so 2 points. David coming out of nowhere with those bonus cards. Lucked into a really nice 4-point bonus card at the end there.
Also had the only person who won first place on any of the end round polls by himself.
That was
Yeah,
honestly,
which made a pretty nice difference, but 2 points in the difference.
I had to get rid of a few
Wow.
cards because I didn't have fish.
I did not see him coming out of like that. Nicely done, David.
Yeah, that's a pretty big play by David, but it is Angela Tao, our 2023 champion, overall winner, who did not play a game of Wingspan, or did not play a game of Wingspan on camera, I guess, or on her run to the champion, to the finals for the $25,000. But she has played and won a game of Wingspan this year. She is back into the semifinals. She's the only one of our winners to be able to do that. Of course, at the time of this WSBG, there were only 2, but a monumental feat from Angela to make that run and get her second ring, and in 2 different games, which is pretty exciting to see happen.
Very impressive to win 1 ring. Win 2 in different ones. That's that Omni Gamer, which is really what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Your markers were on the same thing on the
Yeah,
scoring.
that was a wild game. That was so much closer than I expected.
So much closer than I thought it was going to be. I mean, obviously, the way we've been talking about it, we thought she was running away with it. Literally just said I thought she was going to win by 20.
Yeah, but only 2 over David. That those bonus. David had a really good bonus card round, and Angela having 3 cards as well, only getting 8 to David's 16. Like, that's a pretty big jump.
And you know David's going to sit there and be like, how could I have squeaked out 2 more points somewhere?
Yeah, I think he did everything he could. Like, he played and he took his gamble too at the end, getting that extra bonus card in, and it feels like that was probably the best call, or the best case scenario for him as well.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, Henry just not having. If Henry had had a little bit more space in his cards for those eggs, and could have capitalized on his engine that he was running just a little bit more, 2 more turns of space.
He just needed. I mean, it was 5 eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 or 6. He just needed 1 really cheap, large like capacity bird. He would have had it.
Yeah. But overall, a great game from everybody all around. Congratulations goes out to Angela, our 2023 champion, and now the 2024 Wingspan ring winner, That was a fun game. Mike, thanks for commentating with me.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
And if you feel like your Wingspan skills can be put to the test, well, remember to use that code EARLYBIRD. You can use it until the end of the year to save yourself $100 off of your stay and play ticket. This is the best deal that you're going to get, so you might as well sign up and go. You know that come September, you're going to wanna. So,
and everybody scored more than 90 points in a game of Wingspan at home. So 90 points is a winning score. Look at it. Come on out.
Yeah, 90 points is the score to beat. If you have scored over 90 points, you've got yourself a chance to win one of those beautiful rings.
And I'm pretty sure mine was only like 92 last year. So come on out, put up 90 points, take home a ring.
Yeah. And maybe take home $25,000. Who knows? But or just make sure that you come and you'll have a good time. You'll be part of a great community, and we'd love to have you here.
We're all winners inside when we get to play board games for a whole weekend.
That's true. That really is true. It's like one of the best things ever.
You mean when I don't have to be like, please play a board game with me? I can just go out at open gaming and be like, all of my peoples.
Everyone here, I love. Let's all sit. Let's all play.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Mike, again for commentating. Thanks everybody for watching. Mike, you got any words of wisdom or bird puns to finish us off?
I'm gonna go with I need to duck out of here and go home and eat some dinner.
Perfect. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you later. My name is Chris George, and from all of us here at WSBG Vegas, what are you waiting for? It's time to get in the game.
Let's go.